We got some breaking news out of Iowa. Speaking of new numbers, we're getting some numbers, finally, out of last night's Iowa Caucus. It's got Kayla Tausche, who was in Iowa, with more. Kayla.
Brian, with 62% of data reported, the Iowa Democratic Party now says that Pete Buttigieg, the former South Bend mayor, is currently in the lead as far as state delegate equivalent counts go at this hour. This is only with 62% reporting, but they do say that this 62% of data comes from all 99 counties. Following Mayor Pete is Senator Bernie Sanders. After that, Senator Elizabeth Warren. After that, the former Vice President Joe Biden. And after that, Senator Amy Klobuchar. Certainly a win at a caucus like Iowa would have provided a momentous moment for any of these candidates, but notably specifically for Pete Buttigieg, someone who was a relative unknown just a year ago and would be the first openly gay candidate to win a presidential primary in any state. So that would certainly have been an historic moment if it were a moment that he were able to claim. Now, we often see that when you have a winner announced on a caucus night, if it would have happened last night, you would have seen a massive bump in the polls going forward. With the debacle that's developed over the last 24 hours, unclear if you will see that jump in the polls, but certainly notable, historic, momentous to say that Pete Buttigieg is in the lead with 62% reporting, although you can bet, Brian, that other campaigns will take issue with this data. Senator Bernie Sanders' campaign overnight said that it had its own data that showed that he was in the lead. So expect some backlash here.
A lot of questions, Kayla. I don't want to put you too much on the spot. I know this is all kind of breaking. First off, do we know when the remaining 38% is going to come out? And also, 62%. I mean, we don't have companies reporting 62% of their quarter on the quarterly numbers. Is there any... People are asking, why 62%? Why now? Why not wait till you know everything before coming out and maybe getting some false hopes up and making other people upset?
Well, of course, we have a lot of questions for the Democratic Party here in Iowa that we have not been able to get answered. Some of those very questions that you just outlined, Brian. Perhaps 62% felt like it was a rough majority that they felt comfortable going forward with. All of the campaigns have raised issues about the partial release of data. Why not wait until it's done? The Sanders campaign on a call earlier today said that it believed that the Biden campaign was pushing the party to withhold some of the data because it didn't think that it was going to be flattering. So there has been some behind-the-scenes hand-wringing about who exactly wants this data to come out. The party earlier today said that the full slate of data would be readily available when it is fully verified, whether that's a week from now or a month from now. But clearly they felt like that last 38% either was not verifiable at this moment or that they owed it to the public to provide the majority of the information when they had it. And that's why they decided to put this information out now.
All right, Kayla Tausche in Iowa. I know it was a long, kind of an odd night there. Buttigieg, by the way, basically claiming victory at around midnight. Yeah. I watched that. Kayla, thank you very much. Let's trade this. Let's keep this right in the CNBC lane as well. Guy Adami, there was again a school of thought that sort of ABS, anybody but Sanders, might be the more positive outcome for the equity market. Looks pretty good for Buttigieg there. Does it matter to the equity market?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, we were talking before the show, I think a lot of the rally today, not an entire rally, but a lot of the rally was predicated on the fact that there was such a crazy evening in Iowa and there were no clear winners. I mean, I can make an argument that if Bernie had emerged victorious last night, you would have seen a benign to negative day for the broader market. And I can't do the counterfactual thing. I get it. But the fact that it continues to be muddled, I think it's positive President Trump. Positive President Trump is positive market.
I think what we got to watch tomorrow is how do these healthcare stocks that have been so impacted by this, the managed care names, UNH, Humana, how do they trade against this backdrop? We're talking about the pharma stocks as well, which frankly act pretty good. We had J&J break out today. We have Pfizer acting better. I think that's going to be the big story. But when you look at the betting markets, right, the betting markets are a good tell on what the market thinks of these things. It's actually Mike Bloomberg who has shot up in the betting markets over the last 10, 15 minutes here. So the market perceives the mayor.
Doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on. Yeah. There won't be a Republican or a Democrat who is more pro-growth, pro-corporations, lower tax rate, cut in regulation than Trump. So it's a negative to anybody else but Trump right now, whether you hate him,
even Mike Bloomberg.
or you love even Mike Bloomberg. You've heard how
who runs a data company that is based on Wall Street's success.
By the way, Pete
If
Buttigieg,
Wall Street does not do well, Bloomberg LP does not do well.
One of Pete Buttigieg's quotes was, "We have to stop the ever-expanding arm of big business needs to be stopped to improve our democracy." That doesn't sound hopeful for the 6 or 8 names that have kept this market going forward.
Well, I think you're probably right in terms of who the market perceives to be the best to be in office for the market to do better. But, I think that for me, Mike Bloomberg, I think, could do a good job negotiating trade with China. I think he's a smart business. I know we're not getting into that, but I think there are other candidates that are moderate of Warren Sanders that could be okay for the market.
Yeah, I think other sectors too, Chris. And again, we're talking about this from a CNBC perspective. You can't ignore the factual, all the politics, but you can take it down the CNBC lane. I think you also have to look, and I'm talking my book here a little bit about oil and gas. When you've got some candidates who are talking about pretty much ending fracking or parts of fracking.
That sounds bullish, oil and gas, right? So I think what's been ironic about the Trump administration is what was going to be viewed as very pro-energy administration, right? Oh, too much supply, drill, drill, drill.
Or not enough demand.
I think if you look at a Warren presidency or a Sanders presidency where fracking is banned or they try to pass that, that sounds like it's bullish energy. That sounds like it's bullish crude. I think that's the counterfactual.
I'm talking specific companies. You say, I'm going to throw it out there, a Devon Energy, a large part of their portfolio is fracking on federal land in New Mexico. If they can't do that, that's a big part of their business that would go away. There's certain specific companies like that.
And I know we have to go to break quickly. On a day where the Dow is up 400 points, we had a conversation last night. ExxonMobil closed below $60 today, closed down 1.25%. We've been talking about this for a while. So I don't know what the right entry point is in energy and big cap integrated, but it ain't here in my opinion.
Not here yet. A lot of people agree with you, Guy Adami.